Hi.
Hey, Alyssa, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Doing well.
I've never done this before, so.
Should be great. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm not dead. I don't have the Rona. How about you?
I don't have Veroni, so I'm good here. Let's send out the link and we can start. All right, cool. So this is the project I've been wanting to do for a while now, and because of the Roni, can't exactly travel and interview people. So instead, what I want to do is just do it here, do it live, and we can go from there. So
awesome, cool.
You're my first guest. I wanted you to be the first guest, just because you're so talented, and just seeing you progress over the past couple years has just been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So with that said, let's get to the questions.
All right, cool.
All right. So you live in Houston now, but you're originally from Florida. Is there anything from Florida you still connect with?
Like, it's weird. Like, when you go back to Florida, like, it's like, like, you could smell the palm trees. And, like, I'm from Orlando, so, like, it's just, like, Orlando has nothing besides, like, people think that, like, Disneyland or Disney World is there, but it's not. It's actually, like, slightly north of Orlando. And so it's just, Orlando's just concrete. And so it's just, I don't know, when you touch down at the Orlando airport, man, it's just, you could smell the palm trees and the alligators. Like, just, you just know you're home. And just, I mean, like, I think the one thing that I probably have ties there too is, like, I'll still follow the Orlando Magic. I haven't, I'm not a huge basketball fan or anything like that. I mean, I like it, but it's not my main sport. But so I have a special affinity for the Magic in my heart.
Nice. Let's see. Okay, so now that you're in Houston, what inspires you as far as Houston to create?
Well, I'm like moving this around because like I've never done this before because I'm like
worries.
89 years old and I've never gone on Instagram Live. So one of the coolest things about Houston is that it is the most diverse city in the United States. So screw you, New York. All right, we got it locked down here in H-Town. But that's what's so cool is that there's so many different unique cultures, and everybody just kind of lives like peacefully. Like there's no beefs really between anybody. Everybody kind of like just melts together and shares their culture and community with each other, which I think is one of the coolest things. Like, this is such a weird anecdote, but a microcosm of that was when I worked at Macy's at the Chanel counter, and in cosmetics, like, we had such a huge, diverse array of people. Like, people from the Middle East, people from Asia, people from Europe, like literally everywhere. And everyone just, like, is just so nice and just constantly wants to share their culture with you, and so that you can get to know their people and you can enjoy it with them. And that's just, again, like I said, a microcosm of Houston. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, Daniel, how's it going?
Daniel rules. Cool dude. Great guy.
That reminds me of just growing up in like Hyattsville, where you have everybody there and it's so mixed. Like, everybody's sharing everything all the time. You can turn the corner and like there's just food everywhere. Like, food culture everywhere.
Exactly.
Sweet.
And like, that's one of the reasons why we as a city, like, were able to bounce back from Harvey pretty quickly, because, well, I mean, quickly in relative terms, but because we banded together, like, when stuff happens, like, we got each other's backs. and it's not like that everywhere. So we're very, very grateful for that.
That's important for a city, especially you guys. Just considering what happened with Harvey and the ability to like come together in a time of crisis like that. I think it just shows the strength of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Let's go on to question number 3. All right. So you put out an EP, and songs on your SoundCloud, and you got like your voice is beautiful, but like just letting everybody know that. You have a lot of piano ballads,
Yes.
and my favorite is about blank. So, what got you started with piano?
With piano, I actually took piano lessons when I was a kid, and then I promptly forgot all of it until maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. I guess maybe it was a little bit longer than that. It was more like 10 years ago. But I basically like took piano lessons from like age 5 to 10, and then I forgot all of it. And then I started playing guitar, and I forgot, how to read music and everything. It was terrible.
It
and
happens.
then it's actually kind of weird. Like I started, like the reason I got into piano more is so stupid. I started wearing acrylic nails, and so you can't play guitar with acrylic nails. And so I was like, well, shit, I have to play something. So I was playing, I was like, oh, you might as well like take up the keyboard. So I got a keyboard off Amazon, I don't know, for like $80. And I just started playing around with it and stuff, and just kind of reteaching myself how to write music that way. I could sit there and like translate music for you, but I can't like look at it and be like, okay, yeah, that's what that says.
Yeah.
But so I don't know, I kind of wing it. Really, that's how it is. Yeah, that's how I express myself, and I just kind of stuck with it.
Nice. Like, let's see, Apple just put out like a trial version of like Logic that you can mess around with, and so I've been just messing around like the past day or two, just kind of getting back into beat making, exploring. But with what you're doing now, as far as like when you put songs out on SoundCloud, is it like working on the piano hooked up to like GarageBand, or are you just in GarageBand, or like what's your process?
Most of the stuff that I put on there, I have at my house a simulated piano, but it's like a keyboard and it's got weighted keys like a piano does, but it has a MIDI hookup, so I can hook it up to my computer and I can play the piano through it, and it'll translate all the pedals and everything and the effects and stuff into GarageBand as well. So that's mostly what I do with that, and then I'll just go back and record vocals on top of that. But sometimes, like, I'll just do it the most, just hillbilly way of doing something, and I'll put it, you know how they have the music notes on the iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't use it. I use the voice notes. Because I've always used the voice notes, and when they came out with the music notes, I was like, oh, that's such a great idea, and then I never used it. But I will literally just sit my phone, on the thing that holds, the sheet music on my piano, and I'll press record on the voice notes, and I'll try to play the piano, as softly as I can, so that it doesn't, you don't get the, weird clicking sound, and I'll just try to sing as softly as I can. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think I put one or two of those on there, just literally just voice notes from my phone. Because I was like, I can't be bothered to bring my computer into the room and do all this stuff. Just the most lazy way of doing it.
It's a process.
Oh no, you're butt.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. You're back. Am I good on your side? Okay. Sweet. Okay. So with music, music question done. Let's see. So you're doing graphic design now, including custom artwork for clients. I've seen you do pieces with digital. I've seen acrylic. I've seen charcoal. What's your favorite medium to work in?
Right now, probably acrylic, which is funny because like when I took painting in college, I didn't start painting until college. I was like, I don't like this. I just like the way that you could manipulate the materials with charcoal or graphite better, just because that's what I've done forever. And I was like, I don't like the fluidity of the paints and stuff. But as I've gotten like more used to it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this. I can do this. And it's like, I'm really hard on myself. So it's like, if I think something's not going to come out perfectly, it's like, I just won't attempt to do it, which is so stupid. But that's one of the reasons why I really do like using black and white acrylics, because it's just really hard to mess it up. Like, there's ways you can go and finesse things and finagle and make it look better and fix things and stuff. So, but yeah, that's probably my favorite thing right now that I've been doing.
Nice. I haven't painted since college, and I'm pretty sure most of my acrylics are like dried up at this point. I know I have like maybe two canvases and maybe like a set of acrylic paints, but I hadn't touched them in forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I had been using ones that I had in college like literally 10 years ago. And it's just the liquid text that you can get for $5 at Michael's.
Yeah.
And just the canvases that you get there from, because it's like if you're just kind of experimenting with stuff or whatever, like, yeah, just use that for right now.
Nice. Thank you so much. If you're just joining, this is my friend Alyssa. She is an amazing artist based out of Houston, Texas, doing an interview right now with her. We are 1, 2, 3, 4 questions in, and I've got like about 6 more to go before we wrap this thing up. So be sure to stay tuned, and with that, let's keep it moving.
All right, sounds good.
So as far as your graphic work, what is the feeling that you want people to walk away from when they see your art?
Like in terms of like digital graphics and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I just, one of the things that I really like about doing like digital graphic art is the way that you can use like a smoothing technique and like smooth the brush strokes, because I have really bad tremors. So if you look really closely at like my actual like physical analog paintings, you can see that, and it's not very smooth, but you can do like a smoothing effect on Photoshop. And so I just really like the way that you can translate movement. I have this one that's black and white. It's of Lady Gaga, and I just did like the texture in her hair. Like it's like just basically like a line drawing, and I did the texture in her hair only, is like the only thing that has dimension, and it just gives this like really pretty movement. And it's just very ethereal, and just I want it to kind of like, I know every artist is like, oh, you know, my art is about beauty. You know, that's a very trite answer to give, but yeah, it's about, you know, each person's like perception of beauty and that kind of stuff. And I've been like more recently trying to challenge that and trying to change the way that I look at things, and just experiment with different points of view and that kind of stuff. And I realized for a while I was just kind of like either drawing athletes or like white women. And I was like, I should probably diversify, like, you know, maybe like there's like tons of beautiful different people and cultures out there, like all shapes and sizes, and like I need to start like, you know, branching out. Like it's very easy to just draw a picture of Lady Gaga like over and over and over again, like, but you know, I need to push myself into really celebrate people as a whole, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
All right.
There's a piece that you did recently where it says self-love brings beauty, and I love that. It's just I think it's recently one of my favorite things that you put out.
Thank you so much. I really love that. That's actually digital too. What I did was I took like a photo of a model off of Instagram, and I did kind of like a rough tracing of
Good.
the outline of the shapes of her body and stuff, and then scanned it into the computer. And then I took, pardon me, I took some like scanned images of different textures of paper, and I made it look like I had like kind of cut them out to like fit different pieces of the body. So I thought it was cool because I took something that was like at one point on actual paper and then made it look like it was on paper, but the paper part was actually like the digital part. So I kind of like tried to like do a little flip thing on that. And then, but yeah, I really loved the message of that lingerie, because I think it is something that so many people struggle with, the idea of self-love. And I know that it's something that I really struggle with. So it was just nice to kind of like put a piece of myself out there too and be like, all right, this is a concept that I need to wrap my head around as well. And I really love the way it turned out. And I'm glad you liked it too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. If you guys are interested in checking out, be sure to check out her art page. Let me see if I could tag it in here really quick. And that's the page. You can see her work there and also on her Twitter.
Yeah, and I post stuff intermittently, like on my regular page and stuff, and I'm really bad about keeping up with multiple accounts, but yeah, there's stuff there on BAP Creative, and then you can check my regular one, Lizzie List, both on Twitter and here. I share stuff on both, so.
Let's see. What are you into lately that's inspiring you creatively?
What am I into lately that has inspired me creatively? Well, obviously, I was inspired by Lady Gaga's whole new look with the pink hair. I'm such a nerd. Like, everyone's like, oh, what made you do that? I was like, Lady Gaga. That's just it. Like, it's not some kind of like inspired thing. I was like, I was like, oh, she has pink hair now? Gotta change my hair.
Pulled it off.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's just goofy, but I'm kind of going through like a transitional period in my life right now. And so what's funny is that like a couple days after I got it done, I went and visited one of my counselors. And he was like, is this like a statement? Like, are you like transforming yourself? I'm like, do you mean, is this like a breakdown that I'm having right now? I'm like, is this a mental health issue? Yes, but also I just wanted to do it. But no, just like the whole aesthetic of her new song and her new album and everything just really was inspiring to me, and just really she has this like concept called like the kindness punk thing or whatever, and I really like the concept of that, because I've always been more alternative myself, but I'm not like angry mean person, so that really appeals to me, that kindness punk kind of a thing, and just kind of being in your face about loving people and being kind and accepting people in an almost like an aggressive way. So that's kind of something that I really like.
It reminds me like a return to Born This Way, Gaga.
Yes, it really does. I'm obsessed with it. I'm so excited for it. I'm sad that she postponed the album, but I get it. Like, everyone's dying, so like you should probably focus on that and not on music right now.
I've seen a lot of on the marketing side of things. It's like everybody's shutting down their marketing projects. So like to throw out an album, which, it would make people feel better, but to like have the machine behind you right now, it just really
would be uninspiring, and it would just be like almost like you're trying to fake it. Because it's good to just be honest with people and be like, hey, things suck right now, so we need to, focus on getting better, and then we can have fun later.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. We are on question number, if I can count, 7. Okay, 7. We're on 7.
All right. Cool.
What is your inspiration as far as fashion?
As far as fashion, honestly, lately, for a while, I had been pretty depressed and hadn't really been like doing anything in terms of fashion or like, putting on regular clothes other than pajamas. Like I moved back with my parents. And so before all this stuff happened with the quarantining and that kind of stuff, I had been going out with my mom and my sister, and we had just been going to like Forever 21 and just touring in places like that, and just getting like, for me, a really an outfit that makes me feel good is just like a plain shirt, like a plain t-shirt or something, maybe even oversized, and like some ripped up jeans, and then like some like cool shoes or something. Like for a while I was literally just wearing like black men's undershirts and ripped jeans. Like I'm like in Jane's Addiction or something like that. Like that's my aesthetic. I was like, I want to look like I have like a crippling heroin addiction, but not actually have. That's terrible. You know what I mean? Like I wanted that kind of like just like 90s, like I don't really care aesthetic going on. Just because, like, you go in and out of feeling, body dysmorphic and that kind of stuff. And so I was just like, you know what, at this point, I don't care. But now I've actually been dressing up during quarantine, which is crazy. I put on makeup today. Like, absolutely nuts. I think over the past couple weeks, too, pardon me, I've been trying to get a little bit more edgy with my fashion, and edgy to me means like wearing normal clothing. Like my sister's 22 and she wears crop tops all the time, and like she like forced me to try one on at Forever 21, and I was like, oh god, I don't want to. And I was like, you know what, I actually don't look that terrible in this. And I was like, let's get it, it's $5. Like,
there we go.
Just force myself to do things that I'm uncomfortable with and just kind of have fun with. And my mom was like, yeah, girl, you go, girl. And I'm like, all right, well, if my mother is telling me that, like, I'm almost 30, so I should be able to wear what I want. But, it's just good to have that support. So just trying to be doing something different.
That's awesome. Like, that's so good to hear. I have either been in shorts and a t-shirt, or if I can get out of my pajamas, barely out of my pajamas, just because there's not a lot going on right now.
Yeah, it's really hard to be motivated to do anything.
Yeah. But trying.
Yeah. It's like if you can do it like a couple times a week, then you're like, all right, I feel productive.
Yeah.
Like I put on pants today, like regular pants, not pajama pants that have like spider webs on them and they say boo. Because that's what I'm wearing right now. Like, I don't know. So, at least this part looks normal.
It's like, top up. It's like, oh yeah, it looks really, it's like a Zoom call where it's like.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I'm doing a work meeting here. And then it's like, you like look down, you have no pants on.
None.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So I know here in Tulsa right now, we're sheltering in place. So you can go out for like groceries and everything else. Groceries, doctor visits, anything essential, but anything else is like you will get fined or cited for it. What's it like in Houston right now?
It's the same. Like in the county that I am in, it's the county right above Houston. So I'm like 30 minutes outside of Houston, just north of it. And actually, this zip code that I'm in is one of the ones that has the most cases in it in this state right now. So it's like, in terms of like per capita or whatever. So I'm like, that's great. But then there's a bunch of nursing homes here. So that tells you, like, it's kind of going around the nursing homes, which sucks. But yeah, like everything's on lockdown. And it's weird because like there'll be times when it seems completely dead in like a ghost town. And then there'll be other times like when I'll go to the grocery store to get my prescription or whatever. And it's like everyone's just out and about. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like, why is it that I'm holding myself up here and contributing to my depression, and you're out there, you know, with Sally and Susie, you know, hubbubing around or whatever? Like, what do you, like, no. Mama, no. Like, all of us are trying to take one for the team right now.
Yeah.
Like, just get with the program. But I think now that we actually have, like, a curfew and stuff, people are like, oh, it's big time now.
Yeah.
But it's also Texas, and people are like, I'm a Texan, you can't tell me what to do. I got my guns. And I'm like, really, gonna shoot a virus with a gun? That's what you're gonna do? You think it's gonna protect you, buddy? All right, whatever. Like, have at it.
I want to say maybe it was 2 weeks ago before it got really bad. It was like in starting towards like lockdown, like heading towards lockdown, and I'm like, okay, I need to get groceries from the grocery store, make sure that, you know, we're stocked up so that if it becomes, okay, we have to shelter in place or anything, you know, we're not going out as much or as needed. And I go in the grocery store and it's just like packed. I see people, like the park down here is closed, and you see people just like walking by in groups along like the side path. I'm just like, are you serious right now?
I'm like, they're supposed to be 6 feet.
Yeah.
And like my sister's immunocompromised, so like we were in the grocery store the other day and we were walking around getting stuff, and I'm like standing in front of her, like I think you commented on the video and stuff, and I'm like, don't touch her. I'm like walking in front of her with my arms out, and then I'm like trying to like karate chop the air, and I'm like acting like, if any of you people come near my sister, I will karate chop you in the face. I'll take one for the team. I'll catch the Rona so she doesn't get it. But yeah, so it's just, I guess those people are just always going to be selfish and dumb. I think it's a mixture of selfishness and stupidity.
Sadly. I've noticed as we've gotten like, as time's gotten, you know, kept on going, I've seen less and less people inside the store as I've had to go out and get stuff. So, which is good. Like, people are taking it seriously.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
Let's see. So, as far as the art community in Houston or the small business, like, let's say both Houston and like just as a whole, what have you seen as far as support, you know, trying to get out of this?
I think a lot of people are just setting straight money to people's Venmos and Cash App. And people will like volunteer, be like, I'll draw, you know, a quick portrait of this, whatever. And people are like, you know, I don't have a ton that I can give right now. But when you get a bunch of people to do that, that really helps, and it starts adding up. I have a lot of friends that are comedians, and so they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like I have this one guy that I know that has this comedy club that he runs, and he's like telling people, he's like, for $2,000 I'll get a tattoo of Carol Baskin on myself. And I'm like, oh my God. Like at first he was like, I'll shave my beard for $50 or whatever. And then it's like, then it just gradually like took off and became this crazy thing. And it's like, I'm like, I can't tell if he's serious or not. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if you need the money to keep going, then, you know, just whatever. Carol Baskin, here I come.
Yeah.
But people are getting really creative in the ways that they're trying to help each other out and drum up some funds here and there. So yeah.
Yeah. It's been, just from what I've been reading, like small businesses in general, just like getting slammed by this thing.
Yeah.
I know for myself, March was really when things were supposed to pop off.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, oh, I'm going to go to, Austin, and that's going to be great, and like do a lot of stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky where I got to go back to Maryland for like one last job before everything
Like shut down. Yeah.
Yeah. And so right now it's like everything's silent.
Yeah. It's really crazy. And I mean, it's because it's so unprecedented this time that we're in, like, no one really knows what's going on. And like, yeah, we all want to get back to work and stuff, but at the same time, we're terrified because like people are dying and we don't even know, like, I don't know how it is in Oklahoma right now, but in Texas, like, we're severely undertested. So like they're saying we only have like, I don't know, like 2,000 cases or something like that. Mama, there's 30 million people that live in this state. And I guarantee, like, we have like, I think it's like 9 tests available per like 100,000 people here. Because it's ridiculous. It's like, we're like 48th or 49th in terms of testing availability. And I'm like, this isn't a poor state. Like, where's all this money going? Like, why are we not taking care of our people? And so it's just frustrating. And yeah, so shout out to our stupid governor and our stupid lieutenant governor who said that grandparents should be willing to die for the younger generation's economy.
Saw that one. As well as
idiot.
Colbert
That's
dragging our governor.
Running, like, I'm like, and then the governor, get this, our governor, this is how shitty it is. Our governor got paralyzed in an accident. And then he won millions of dollars after the accident because he sued. Then he introduced and signed legislation that made it so that nobody else could profit off of an accident like that ever again. So I'm like, what? So yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm like, so what's good for the gander is not good for the goose. Is what you're trying to tell me here?
Oh, wonderful.
So yeah, that's just the kind of idiocy that we're dealing with. So, like, yeah, no wonder we don't have any testing here.
We're probably not too far behind, honestly.
Yeah. All these southern states is just, like, I'm like, there's got to be way more stuff going on down here than they know about. So, hopefully, people start listening and staying inside.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I've seen New York basically turn into a ghost town. I've been talking to my brother out there and just what's going on and like through the airports and then just seeing what's happening in LA, which is like for LA to not have traffic.
Yeah.
It's like, it's surreal.
It is. It's like a dystopian nightmare. Like I kept saying that like when this first started happening, but then it's like, it's almost eerie the way that it's kind of sunken in now and that we've all kind of like accepted it.
Yeah.
But we're like literally. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm getting notifications about interpersonal drama, like somebody trying to like fuck with me, like while I'm trying to do this interview. And I'm like, this dramatic bitch that I'm dealing with. I'm sorry, okay. But no, I completely get you. Like it's weird, like seeing nobody at LAX is just bizarre. And like nobody in Times Square. Like when that's never happened. That's unprecedented. So, it's just crazy.
It's wild. But we are almost done. Get something a little bit lighter. My last question is, what are your favorite accounts to follow right now?
On Instagram or Twitter?
Just in general, Instagram or Twitter.
General, I'm so bad. I follow like a lot of drag queens. Just because like that's what my family's been using to like kind of lift our spirits during this time. So like we follow like Trixie Mattel and Katya. We follow Aja. We follow I don't know. Just we've been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's like I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of anything or anybody.
It's all good.
I'm so dumb. I'm like, I follow drag queens. That's it. One of the accounts that I really like, this is going to be so weird. It's this lingerie company called Playful Promises, and they make lingerie for people of all sizes. And they're the ones that made the lingerie that said, self-love, brings beauty or whatever. But they have a bunch of like plus size models and stuff that I follow from that model for them. So I love being able to like look at my Instagram feed and see like, I don't want to say normal people because even skinny people are normal people, but it's just nice to see like body diversity and stuff. So there's a ton of different models on there. Like Gabby Fresh is one of them. Felicity Hayward's one of them. And it's just really nice to see like people that are different, but still beautiful being embraced and being like promoted. So those are some other accounts I really like.
Nice. That wraps it up.
All right.
So where can people find you?
All right. I am typically always on Twitter at LissyLys, LISSIELYS. Or also on Twitter at BAP Creative. And then also on here, I mean, same exact names too. Same exact ads. And I'll be around because what else does anybody have to do? Nobody else has anything to do, so I'll be around.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Alyssa. This was awesome.
Thank you. This was so cool. This was really fun. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah. I guess we will hang up and thanks everybody for joining.
Yes, thank you guys.
On the next episode of The Connect.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.